I think Ryman went to Kentucky. I think that's where they're at. Sammy went to for work. Next week he'll be on vacation.
Where are you guys going?
Home. Home, finish painting my living room.
Sales notices out.
San Antonio from 40 to 32.
Yeah.
For a home game. You ready? Josh?
All in order. Got wonderful times. Appreciate all of you coming here. We're going to have an interesting night. There's a lot of things to do, take care of. Appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. We're going to say the pledge, a prayer, and then we're going to get into the roll call and consent agenda. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Father, we come before you as a group that finds such a wonderful place here in Miami. And we ask that you guide us in everything that we say, do, and act on, as we know you're the one who provided it all. We ask that you give us that patience that we can listen, give us the understanding, and give us the communication that we can go on and make a successful Miami, as this is what we're all working for. We ask that you watch over those who protect us, those who are in far-off lands, protecting our freedom, and those who have put themselves in harm's way in order to protect us. We only ask that we are thankful enough for what we have here, and we do as you want us to do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, roll call.
Mayor Madrid,
Present.
Vice Mayor Gonzalez,
Excused.
Councilmember Medina,
Present.
Councilmember Moat,
Here.
Councilmember Ryman,
Excused.
Councilmember Sosh,
Here.
Councilmember Stewart.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Very good. Okay, item 4 on the agenda, consent agenda. All items listed below are considered consent calendar items and may be approved by a single motion unless removed at the request of a council member for further discussion and action. Other items on the agenda may be added to the consent calendar for approved under a single motion. Item 4A is consideration of possible action to approve the council minutes of May 26, 2026 regular meeting. 4B is consideration and possible action to approve the town of Miami payroll for May 24, 2026, the amount of $97,259.57.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items 4A and 4B as stated.
Second.
Okay. Councilman Sash made a motion to approve. Councilman Stewart seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We'll move on to 5A. 5 is the committee reports and general demands. 5A, consideration and possible action to approve the general demands for May 15th, 2026 through May 28th, 2026 in the amount of $271,452.39.
Mayor,
Yes.
I make a motion to approve committee reports and general demands 5A as stated.
Second.
Okay, Councilman Sash made a motion to approve. Councilman, which one? You? Stewart, seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Okay, item 6, reports, recognitions, town manager reports. Alexis?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Yes? Okay. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. The police department received all the documentation necessary to put the 2 units in operation that happened on Friday. Now we have officially for fleet 5 units, active units, expecting 2 additional units by the beginning of fiscal year 26, specific July. Our speed rattle is already inactive on the west side of the town. As part of the HVAC project for the police department, the electrical contractor has some delays on the materials. We are expecting that they can start full operation for that project this week. In addition to the mechanic section, Guardian should be providing the quote no later than this Wednesday by the end of the day. In regards to the $2.5 million matching fund, we received some good news today. We secured the funding. Now is the process to be approved by the governor and the state budget. We anticipate that happening no later this Friday. On the facade program, we received multiple applications, and we are currently in the process to assess to make sure that they comply with the terms and conditions, they have the proper documentation. And our objective is to send a letter of engagement no later than June 26. Thank you.
Alexis, are we waiting on the electrical to be installed before we put the HVAC in?
Yes.
We don't need to do that.
Can't really get into a detailed discussion on something that's not on the agenda.
I know, but this is getting old. This is sounding like last year's same thing going around. We've got to take care of the police. It's hotter than snot over there. I was there a couple of days ago, and I have to thank the police so much for putting up with this. This is crazy. We could have had locals do it already. Just, I don't understand why it's so difficult. You guys know what I've said about it. I've talked about it until I'm blue in the face. Let's move on. Item 6B, current events summary, Mayor Madrid. That's me. I want to start with thanking our gal at the library and the gal that put in a beautiful mural on the outside of that library. If I had not had an appointment, I wouldn't have missed the library ribbon cutting that happened Friday, 10 o'clock, I think it was. And it is beautiful up there, so if you people haven't seen it, take a ride up Adonis, and you'll see a mural painted on the wall of the library, and it is amazing. But you got to give her a lot of compliments and appreciation. What an artist. And moving on, I had some work, I should say, some meetings with the Freeport McMoran, and meetings with our up on the Capstone area. There's a new company, not new, but new people are managing it, and we had a meeting over at William Plaza, Kettle Valley Mine, and talked about their interest in working with Miami as well. And so we had a really good meeting to kick it off at William Plaza. And then we're going to have some meetings going forward with the head of that mine. I'll be doing that coming week. And he's really interested in what we're doing, and I'm really interested in telling him, because we're really getting to a point where we're moving this town the way it's got to go to get Miami moving in an area that Freeport's looking at because of the survey they did and the feedback they got from the people that answered the survey was exactly what we had planned to do, and that's housing and blight work and economic development work. So we're going to be hearing a lot about that tonight. Just wanted to give you a heads up on what's going on. The mining companies are ready to help us. We're in a boom for the copper industry. We've got to take advantage of that. We can't be waiting around. And we darn sure got to get the law enforcement up and running the way they need to be. And lastly, for me on this one is our advisory committee. We had another meeting, and it went well. They have all the information they need next to our legal help. And we're going to have another meeting. Guys, it's open to the public. It's going to be May 17th at 10 a.m. right here. Anybody wants to join in on it. It's an effort that is really going to take off in a big way, especially with what Freeport, what you're going to be hearing as we go forward tonight. You're going to understand the mines are serious. This is a time that we're in a market, a boom market, and they know it, and we've got to be ready to go with them. So hang on and listen good, because it's going to be really interesting as we move forward here. Okay, I'll turn that over to Councilman Medina.
You said the next meeting is May 17th?
Yes.
Is that in next year? Well, past May. We're in June.
Oh, did I say May?
You said May.
Sorry. No, I looked at June, and I'm sorry.
All right.
No, thank you. It's June the 17th. The art committee has a meeting every third Wednesday of the month. That's a good way to look at it. Okay, now you can start.
Thank you, Mayor. As usual, I've got a bunch of stuff on my report. And basically what I've got is a hit list of items that I want to be bringing up periodically. But first I'd like to start with an observation that I made through the years. And I knew there was a name out there for it, and during some of my training in the military, I was brought to the attention of the word paradigm shift. Paradigm shift are things that happen that you weren't expecting out of the clear blue. And if you're not prepared for it, it can hurt you, or it could be an advantage. Our favorite story that I heard several times in the military was those of you that are old enough to remember the IBM printer. Used to be about a mile wide and had tractor paper. That system was used throughout the world, especially in the military. We had IBM machines all over the bases and tractor paper and up here at the mines. Could you imagine the number of warehouses that had IBM special paper that they had to use, and the amount of money that it took to supply these warehouses and to keep them up, and the consumption of all this paper? Well, here's where the paradigm shift comes in. Somebody wondered, why can't we just print a report on printer paper, on just plain old typing paper? And they figured it out, and they did it. So now, all of our reports are made through this paradigm that I'm talking about. Now imagine, throughout the world, all the warehouses that are full of IBM paper, and what do you do with it? I mean, the whole world, the United States, warehouses full of IBM paper. So anyway, there's a cost involved. What do you do with it? The report we got was IBM almost went under because of that. They lost a lot of business in that area, and they had to do something with that paper. They had to take it back. So anyway, I'll try to bring up any particular paradigm shift that I see that is a possibility. And like the mayor was saying, that could be one right there, the copper industry. Yes, they could come back, but in what way? What way would they come back? People, money, resources. So we have to be on the ball and be ready for that paradigm shift. And anyway, that was item number one. Item number two, I'm going to be bringing up Almaguey, and particularly cleanup in general, road condition, and the future of Almaguey. I threw in another kind of a tidbit. The word prejudice. The word prejudice, if you look it up in the proper sense, it can mean both either positive or negative. Most people are prejudiced. Some people are prejudiced towards Chevrolet. Some people are prejudiced towards aviation and the like. And then, of course, there's a reverse, and that's not so good. Okay, that was item two. Item three, we'll talk about that in a little while. Cherry Flats Road. Then number four is roads in general. As I keep saying, I'm a diagnostician. I have been all my life. Everywhere I go, I irritate the wife because I'm always studying something and comparing. Just this weekend, just took a leisurely ride around Globe, and come to find out that Globe has their road challenges as well. You know, they're doing a good job though. So we need to figure out a way to kind of catch up with Globe. And of course, I'm going to have some general update requests, A, B, and C. First, signal light at the eastern end of Highway 60 in progress. Speed vehicle control, and increasing the speeding traffic ticket fines, and kind of looking at that too. And the issue that I saw personally with that first light coming in were these heavily loaded trucks that are coming in, and they beat the first light. And while they're moving on to beat the second light, a lot of times they don't make it. And I saw one truck loaded down, a heavy truck. He was halfway down the road but couldn't stop. He ran a red light big time. I'm sure he was looking out for any traffic, because if there was any traffic going across at that moment, it would have been hazardous. I spend a lot of time at the senior center. I don't know how many times I saw some close calls, and now I've got to the point where I will not drive into the intersection. I want to make sure everybody is stopping. Okay. So anyway, there's an issue between those two lines right there. One suggestion I want to bring up to ADOT is the possibility of making that first light one that flashes caution all the time. It'll be a red light on this side, caution light on the other side, the yellow light, giving people a heads up, like you better slow down for something coming up. And then this other light. Okay, so anyway, that's an idea that we could run across ADOT, and maybe Councilman Sox can help me on that one. And anyway, those are the three items I have, and I'll be bringing stuff up like that periodically. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Love.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, you're right. The town is starting to boom again with the mines. Price of copper's way up. When I went on that tour of Capstone, David Stanley was the director of the proceeds of the tour. And he's also involved in HR. Well, he took me off to the side and he asked me, we were there with Linda of the newspaper, and Sarah from Simply Sarah, also representing the town of Miami. He took me off to the side and he said, how can Capstone be more sufficient in helping out with the town of Miami? And thought a minute, first thing that came to my mind, we need a little more help with the roads. And whatever we can do there, donations, whatever, and getting some of these houses fixed up, really truly appreciated. You know, when the mines would go on strike, people would build new houses, repair their houses, and then they went to the 15-year contract. And there wasn't any more strikes. It was just a big excuse to break the union. And there was no more repair on the old houses, and people were leaving and going on strike and getting jobs other places. But the 15-year strike came into view, and it all turned out that they were breaking the union, which really happened. But David Stanley, he was really interested in helping out with the town of Miami, and I hope I gave enough information that he could think about it. And he said he would call me later, and still waiting for the call. But I do have an agenda item that I'm going to talk to when we get to it. It's going to be on the request forms to speak in public. For anybody that wants to speak in public, put your name, meeting date, resident or non-resident. Don't have to put your address. If you wish to speak on the call of public, and what topic you want to talk on, and wish to speak on agenda item number. And I'll be talking about that. Comes up down the list after Mr. Medina's report. That's all I got.
All right, Councilman Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will forego my report for this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, item 7, call to the public. Pursuant to Arizona Revised Statutes 38-131.01, at this time, members of the public may address the town council on any issue within the council's jurisdiction that is not on the agenda. There is a 3-minute limit for each speaker. The council's response is limited to responding to criticism, asking staff to review a matter, comment on, asking that a matter be put on future agenda. Council members are not permitted to discuss or take legal action on a matter raised during the call to the public. Anybody out there want to call the public?
My name is John Sarman, 320 South Prospect Avenue, Miami, Arizona. I have a question. Well, I have a thing to say. You want to have a fill out form for someone stating what they want to say. I don't think that's right. I think it's call the public. We don't have to put a form, say, we're going to say something on it, call the public. The other thing is, I noticed in attending council meetings since the first of the year, nothing's been done in this council until election time. Get roads done, get the library done, getting the police department done, that's fine. But it's election year, so everyone's hurrying up to the elected, re-elected. So, I have my say, thank you.
Anybody else?
Mayor, council, to the public, you would have probably never been made aware of the following by this council. This town once had a grant writer at no expense to the town. 2 homegrown professionals offered their support to the town on November 24th, 2025. These professionals had a conference call with Alexis Rivera and Phil Stewart on December 8th, 2025. On December 23rd, 2025, Alexis Rivera reached out to these professionals for help with a grant submission. They both put in a lot of time and effort into this grant. They submitted to Alexis Rivera and also copied Phil Stewart the information that they were going to need from the town in order to complete the grant proposal. Long story short, Alexis Rivera and Phil Stewart never responded to their repeated emails. Very disrespectful. This is what these 2 homegrown professionals wrote to the mayor and the councilman on February 13th, 2026. While we were excited about this opportunity to support our hometown with this grant, we were more disappointed with the lack of response, support, and acknowledgement. During our November presentation to the council and the December call with Alexis Rivera and Councilman Phil Stewart, we communicated the need for town leadership and administration support, as it is not our intent to focus on any project or effort without such. Going forward, we are concerned about our credibility with you, the community, and our industry contacts are now impaired as we ask to engage in a project which we were unable to complete. Because of what occurred with Alexis Rivera and Phil Stewart, they decided to transfer their abilities to the Housing and Economic Development Committee. One of these homegrown professionals, the grant writer, is no longer working with the town in any capacity. And none of you on this council inquired as to how, I got 2:30, as to how this could have been allowed to happen and why. So much for being engaged and monitoring your direct reports. So much for caring for the people of Miami. So much for saving the town tens of thousands of dollars.
Point of order.
Richard,
Possibly
that's
more.
enough.
Point of order.
I have
Passed for 3
254.
minutes. Anybody else?
Mayor and Council. My name is Douglas Berry. I'm at 512 West Sullivan Street, right here in beautiful downtown Miami, Arizona. I'm also the, Hometown Volunteer Legal Counsel? Something. I found that out from Joe's remark last month. Anyway, guys, to speak to what the mayor was saying about having to wait is that basically, like, I've worked in a lot of development as well, and we've seen projects, even government projects, not just private sector, go from breaking ground to fully operational within a few months. And that's because they do as much as possible at the exact same time. So before you break ground, they would have spec'd out what kind of power requirements and what kind of air system is going to be in a building. And they would be, seriously, doing as much as you can at the same time. Yes, you can't hook it up until you get sufficient power, but the point being that you don't wait until you've completed it. It doesn't work that way. It all happens at once. At any rate, so that's what he's saying with that. And I agree, we could be right on it. If you know what size of building it is, and we could spec out the air, you'd actually do it the opposite direction. You figure out what size air unit you want for the building, and then meet the proper power requirements for that load. Anyway, so it's good to finally see the new cars outside. I came last meeting and I waited and heard that it was going to happen Thursday or something. A couple Thursdays went by, but at least they're out there today. That's cool. Now, I do want to mention that the chief would have had it done very quickly. Now, I saw you guys approve funding for a vehicle for Public Works, and totally reasonable. We needed it, but you guys approved it, and I saw that vehicle on the road within just a couple days. This is the same week. Monday you approved it, it was out there. Wednesday, Thursday, driving already. We've had those vehicles for the police department since last year, and they are just now hitting the street. So if you want to say that you're not giving the police static, I call shenanigans on you. At any rate, I hope all goes well, and I hope you guys do reserve the right for us to speak. Now, if somebody starts going off on the wrong topic, you can say point of order, just like Councilman Medina did. And that is the case. If it's outside the jurisdiction, so we'll give you the, you can gavel. Anyway, hope you guys have a good evening.
Thank you.
They do a better job than.
Anybody else? Okay, I guess we'll move on. Item 8, unfinished business. 8A, information, discussion, and possible action, regarding setting up a speed meter on Highway 60 to warn traffic entering town of Miami. Councilman Medina.
Thank you, Mayor. I was in the office earlier talking with Alexis about other things, mostly BSing. And I did mention to him that I took a grant writing course, and I went pursuing these electronic speed limit signs, like you're seeing them more and more, electronic. But I didn't put that much time into it because most of these is match funding, and that's where it gets sticky. So I did just mention that to Alexis that I'm working on that part. I did get wind that they're putting up the town's putting up a speed sign, an electronic speed sign, and I don't know if we're going to talk about that at all. And the other concern I have is that pursuing the fines. I brought it up last time that now I noticed that the HOV fine went up from $200 to $400 flat. And you're warned. You're caught, you're busted. Simple. Be nice if we could do the same thing here in the town with speeders. And just flat tell them, speeding, this is what you're going to pay, whatever amount we come up with. And then maybe that'll wake them up. And then, of course, I heard talk about possibility in the future of hiring a full-time officer that would be patrolling the highway. And I mean, they would make a killing. Again, I noticed a lot of things. And I will purposely drive up and down if I have the time and see how many people are speeding through this town. I've had people honking at me as I'm coming into Miami because I'm doing 37 miles an hour. They're doing over 45. And they just fly through this town. And that also includes Globe. I'll be driving into Globe. People get upset with me because I stay with the 47 mile per hour as I'm coming into Globe, and they're going around me upset. And I got the finger a few times too. But anyway, that's a problem we have in our whole community. That's about all I was going to say for now. I'm going to be doing some more research unless somebody has something else they want to add.
Okay. Action 8B, information and discussion and possible action. Consideration and possible approval for the call to public request to speak card and rules addressing the town council. I would like to request that we postpone this because we've got a lot of material to go through tonight on some other significant issues. And this particular one is going to take a long time. There's going to be a lot of people debating, and we just need, given what we've got here tonight, we need a more appropriate time to do that. If we can do that.
Yeah, that's great with me, Mayor, but I just wanted to make one short comment that I think it's very important that we do this. And I wanted to thank Karen for all of her work that she's put into this, and she's gotten good response from all over the state, from towns and cities that do use this, and they typically recommend it. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, a question. This was tabled for 5/26.
Yep.
Can we table again?
I didn't table, I postponed.
Same thing. And it hasn't
I
been
was hoping
postponed.
that we wouldn't have to hear that question.
And it hasn't been postponed.
Councilman Moat is fine with it.
You have to have a motion because it's an agenda item.
All right, I'll make a motion to postpone this.
Second?
Till when?
Thank you.
Okay, Mayor, till when, please?
What?
A regular motion to postpone or table, however you want to word it, brings it back at the next regular meeting. Is that what you intend? Or do you have a specific meeting you want to bring it back at, is all I'm asking.
Oh, well, that's a good question. It's probably going to be the next meeting. It certainly won't be beyond the next two meetings.
Then it will be the next meeting, because if you don't set a specific date, it's moved to the next meeting.
I know it's going to take a lot of time, and I want to get through it in the right way, right manner, so everybody understands from the public side and all of us from this side. We even have, we're missing two of our councils. So that's,
Mayor and Council.
made the motion, and you second it. All in favor, say aye.
You gotta have discussion. Well, what date?
The next meeting.
Mayor and Council, I want to recommend it as a study session probably is the best avenue to go through this topic, this agenda item. That opportunity given to you to bring any kind of concern on the positive and not positive item. How to approach, what is the legality of the decision and action that we want to take. I recommend that, like I say, a study session could be the perfect arena for this agenda item.
Sorry, you're recommending a date that I...
Yes, study session.
A work session.
A work session, a special session.
Yes.
I can't accept that. We gotta have the people here. On a work session, it's pretty hard to get the people from Miami here to listen in and be a part of the whole situation, okay? It's a serious one. We all can see that. We've got to understand. I mean, I went back and looked at the town code, and back in 2021, we had one of these worksheets. And it wasn't 400, 500 words to read before you sign anything. It was just maybe 15 words on it, sign it up. And that was here for Miami. And I wondered, okay, that's 2021. When I came back, and my wife came back to Miami, and we were coming to meetings, all we had to do was go up to the podium, give our name and address, and we were moving on. Why did we stop that? And why did it work so good?
We've
And
never
why
done
was
it.
it even given up from,
We've never done it since I've been here.
No, they haven't. Nope. More crazy people in the world right now.
yeah, well, I don't know, we made some moves to take care of the public, and I think we're going way too far on a 454 word worksheet here. We don't need that. Anyway,
Was there
I hope we
comment?
can move on now.
Well, we haven't had the vote yet, but there was a
Yeah.
question as to whether or not there was
That was part of my
Council.
move on.
council comment.
Call to question.
Pardon?
Call to question.
Call the question. There you go. My question for all this is, I understand the part for a card to keep the meeting agenda and the meeting in perspective. But I don't want someone to come in and start talking off subjects, 4 or 5 or 6, and you get that many people come up saying the same thing over and over again. There's gotta be some kind of order in there. That's when I talked to Alexis, that's why we thought a work session would be great to get input from the public and input from the council and make it all uniform.
Freedom of speech, the First Amendment.
I'm not saying not to, I'm just saying there's got to be order in it somehow or another. I agree, come up and talk.
And that includes not-
If it's a subject that needs to be talked about, not just something random about a dead raccoon down on the bottom of the street. Let's keep it in order, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, is to keep it in order. A work session would be great. This way, the public can put their input in, the council can put their input in, and come to an agreement, is all I'm saying. I think the work session should come in first.
Redress of grievances, we can do that. It doesn't have to be on the agenda.
Okay, so let's have a work session where we can get this in here.
Are you gonna,
That's the First
It's
Amendment.
been tabled, it's been tabled. If you don't want a work session, then you're the mayor, let's don't have a work session. Let's table it for 2 weeks and make our decision.
Look, we've had plenty of work sessions for a lot of good reasons. What I'm concerned about is if we have a work session for this reason, we won't have hardly anybody from our town coming into it because they've got other things they've got to
Well,
do during.
if I'm a concerned citizen and I want to talk about this, I'll make the time to come. It's not, well, we're gonna do it this date. You're gonna have plenty of notice to be able to come. The majority of the people I see here are probably retired, they can make it. It's your choice. It doesn't matter to me whether we do one or not. I just think, let's get the input of everybody and not at a council meeting. Let's do it at a work session so there can be plenty of conversation.
All right, we'll do it at a work session following the next meeting.
Mayor, may I? May I go?
technically no, because they've already voted, or they've already moved and seconded, and so only council can have that discussion now.
Well, what about
So
waiting until
it's
the new
not-
council comes in?
Okay, That's something you can bring up at the next meeting, but it's not appropriate under the rules right now
Thank you.
because
Thank you.
we're trying to follow the rules.
Thank you.
And that's the mayor's responsibility.
Honestly, if I thought that the townspeople could make that workshop, I would go with it, but I don't. I think they have to have an evening meeting. You can call it a workshop, or you can call it a meeting, whatever. But people will be here, just like tonight. That's what we need. I want to hear from them. We want to hear from them.
I've got a question.
We could have finished this as long as this is taking. What?
If we were to have a work session, what time would it start? Prior to this meeting?
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
5:30.
5:30.
Well, even 6 o'clock.
And you don't have to have it on your meeting night. You can schedule a Wednesday work session at 6:30.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be prior to a meeting where it limits you.
No, I know that. That's
When you
right.
guys want to have it, it could still be in the evening at 6:30.
I think we have a better chance of getting more people in here on this kind of an agenda. Our meeting, our regular meeting, we'll bring them in an hour earlier or keep them an hour later. But it needs to be this kind of meeting. We've had some workshops, and we've seen maybe 2 citizens. We've seen even over at the senior center, when we were doing that part of our strategic planning, we had maybe 9 people in there. But that's just, I've seen it. I want to do it right before the next meeting.
Mayor, if I could, the motion on the table is a motion to table the item, which brings it back at the next regular meeting.
Right.
Not a workshop, not a special meeting. So if you want to change it, you'll need to change your motion. But as it stands right now, the motion on the floor is a motion to
I
table
was
the
happy
item.
with leaving it the first
And
meeting.
that's, that's your decision, it's your motion, Mayor. I'm just pointing out what the process is.
All right.
So the current motion on the table is a motion to table the item and bring it back at the next regular meeting. That's been motioned and seconded.
Next meeting or the
The next regular meeting,
Okay?
you need a vote.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay?
No. One,
You're a nay?
one nay.
Okay, I don't blame you.
Thank you.
Let's move on to some serious business now.
That wasn't serious.
Information, this is 8C, information, discussion, and possible action, progress report, council discussion and possible action regarding HVAC for the police department. You heard what I had to say a little bit ago, but I can't, I know that you understand, Alexis, we've been doing this for over a year. I know that the flood didn't help us. But that being said, we could have done this with local people and finished it. And we, you know, we knew that we had a $25,000 cap, and we knew that we could do it. I know that I talked to some of the contractors, local contractors, and they were happy to do it if we had given them a chance. We've got to get this done. I don't want to hear it anymore. It's just been way too long for where we're at right now. Now we're talking about we have to get an electrical contractor and let him do all of his work before we start the mechanical contractor, and that is not right. We can start them working together. The electrical is going to come in and work in a certain area. The mechanical guys are going to come in and work in a certain area. And if the mechanical guys get done before the electrical, so what? when the electrical was finished, ready to start up. It's not, you know, we're gonna gain some time. We don't need to wait for one and then the other. And I remember you telling me that the electrical was gonna be done by a local electrical contractor. And now he's got a problem getting a box.
As I mentioned in the report, the local contractor is having problems with the materials that is necessary for the project.
Yeah,
That's it in the report. And we are waiting for the cost of the mechanical that was already scouted by the company last Monday. We're waiting for that quote to see what is the cost. Mayor, you need to understand that all process require a procurement law and process. You know, either you go with a contractor already with a procurement process done, or you bring 3 quotes and based on that recommendation, we go with not the lowest, but the most efficient for the town.
I know how it works, so I agree with you. What I'm saying
And that's
is-
what we do, that's what we do, and we're waiting for the contractor to have the parts to start the project. And we are waiting, like I said, on the report, no later than Wednesday, on the cost of the HVAC.
So you're telling me that we can work, the electrical's gonna come in with their breaker box. I can't believe they can't go down to Home Depot and buy one, but they're gonna come in with their box, and the mechanical people are gonna come in with their price. And I don't know if you went out to 3 bidders, or you went through that company you've been working with. I forget the name of it, starts with a G. I don't know how you're doing that, but I just want to see it done. We're gonna be hitting summer, and we're still gonna be playing with this, and you promised we'd be done by the middle of June. That's all, I don't wanna do it anymore. The police have had enough, and we don't wanna lose them. You know what kind of a town we're gonna have if we don't have law enforcement? We're gonna have a town that nobody wants to invest in. I read that letter to everybody back 3 or 4 meetings ago. I read it for a reason. If we don't get our police taken care of in the right way, we're not gonna have them. And we can't afford to let them go, and then we say, well, we'll let the sheriff come and do it. The sheriff's not gonna be able to handle the kind of law enforcement that we need here. And guess who's gonna come to this town? All the druggies that are selling. Hey, there's no policeman over there, let's go there. And all the investors and distributors that wanna work with Miami and get things done. Individuals that wanna invest in Miami and the housing and so forth. They're not gonna do that if we don't have a police force. We gotta have law enforcement, especially these days with the kind of crap that's going on out there in the world with drugs. So please, I'm trying to tell you, we've got to get it done, Alexis. I don't want to do this, I don't want to be saying this in another year. I probably won't even be here another year. But,
Mayor, this is not a Home Depot project, this is a government project that requires some warranties and professional elements. It's important that this project is done based on the laws and regulation of the state of Arizona and the town of Miami. We don't have control on the materials, the deliveries, any other elements that go through the contractor. We don't have that control.
I understand the
But,
contract.
excuse me, Mayor, like you mentioned, we try to accelerate this in the best way, but when we approach the contractor, they deliver those information to us. You know, I want to make sure that you understand that, yes, we put already the approval of the project, but he needs to deliver the materials, he needs to start the project, and that's what we're waiting. It's not that we are stopping it, because we have already identified the contractor, waiting for his quote, look at funding, award the contract, and make it happen. We're not delaying the process. Now it's outside of the hands of the town of Miami. And that's the element they need to understand.
Okay, but when the mechanical, have you got the price from the mechanical?
That's what I present on the report. We're waiting on no later this Wednesday to receive the quote for the
Is that
mechanic.
coming from 3 people?
It's one government procurement process. It's from one contractor.
Okay, one contractor is gonna come in with whatever that number
Cost.
is. You know, I remember the last summer when we had proposals come in, we wound up saying, well, we didn't get it right, so we gotta start all over. And here we go for a whole year. And like I said, I'll admit that the darn flood didn't help us. But we gotta get it done, please. I'll move on now.
Mayor?
Mayor,
If I
Go ahead.
might bring in some professional insights into this matter. I've had the opportunity to examine the police department a few times and very recently. And I want to make the council and the public aware of some things that you're having to face. And I do have to say that the town manager is absolutely correct that you don't want your contractors going down to Home Depot and getting equipment. I feel this from people all the time. And usually at retail, when you're dealing with stuff like this, at the retail level, you're getting lower quality items that are made available to the public, whereas you expect your licensed contractor to deal in contractor grade items. So that can take time, but also I want to make you aware, so all of you should be painfully aware. I can tell you in my air conditioning that I've had 3 price increases just this year. So we used to do, the price that we used to do whole jobs for, now is my wholesale price for the unit. If everybody caught that. The price as a contractor, what I would charge you for the entire job is now just my cost for the unit. That's how much inflation is out of control. And so by the time you do have to go through these processes that the state put on local governments to go through the slow financial government, those prices have probably already gone up again. And now it's whatever you budgeted for, it's probably not even enough to do it now. And that's even if the contractor's feeling generous. So that's the external forces that everybody's dealing with. Certainly inflation has hurt my business very badly. People just can't afford to do it, and I don't blame them. I'm slashing my prices, trying to help people out, and they still can't afford it. So those external, the internal matters, I want to make you aware of, especially in that police department building. Our small towns, especially adjacent to any mining going on, this is my opinion, that they have been the product of everybody's husbands, brothers, uncles trying to help out and do things in the buildings. And while their hearts were in the right place, you ended up with, as we are now, with a series of afterthoughts that have never been done professionally or with any kind of scientific insight. And believe me, when I have learned the hard way with HVAC, there's physics and engineering involved that I never knew of 20 years ago getting involved in this. And so that police department is a mess. That building is an absolute mess. There is open ducting in attic spaces. There's soffit areas that are not even connected to the venting. There's venting in the drop ceilings that's not connected to the adjacent venting inside the old roof. There's wide open ducts that used to serve the swamp coolers in there that are wide open in the attic. Also,
I understand all that, I really do, okay?
So, Mayor, I might just
We volunteer the coolers and so forth.
Mayor, I'm trying to say, Mayor, may I finish?
Listen, that's long enough. We gotta get going. We got a lot of things to do here, and I'm telling you that I got proposals. I asked the locals here, what will it take? And for a 4-ton unit and a 2-ton unit. And I got the numbers, and the numbers fell into less than $25,000 and we could get it done without having to go through all this government stuff. So I can go one way or the other. I just want to get it done. Thank you. All right, next one is hopefully an easier one. Item 8D, information discussion, status update on the facade project. Where are we, Alexis?
As I mentioned on the report early, we received multiple applications. We are verify that information about the comply with the terms and conditions of the contract. That's what we're doing right now. Like I say, the goal is to send the letters of action before June 26th.
Okay, thank you. Item 9, new business. 9A, information discussion upon the flood mitigation project. Wilson and Company, Tiffany Construction.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor and Town Council. I'm going to share my screen here and give you an update
Go ahead, Pat.
on the project. So as you know, we worked with, can you see my screen? Is my screen visible to you guys?
Yes.
Yes, okay. As you know, as part of the Emergency Watershed Protection Grant, NRCS, we had 4 sites that we proposed to do improvements on. So I was just going to gloss over those areas. Obviously, we have Bloody Tanks Wash, where we're going to start removing sediment about 500 feet up of the US 60 box, all the way down through the town, and just about 500 feet downstream of Miami Bridge. There is a concrete drop structure here, but there's just not much sediment in this section of the wash. This is one of the areas that we got approved for as part of the grant. We also got approved for the Latham Basin, which is basically a concrete flood wall, and the wash is filled up with sediment. That's another location. We got approved for helping retain the Adonis Basin back to its original design condition. And then we got approved for what we wash. So as part of this grant, one of the things we had to do was go out to all these sites and do design survey. That was completed last week. Another thing we had to do was do the environmental clearance. So we had our environmental people go out to the field and write a report for all these areas and submit it to the NRCS for review. They've reviewed it twice. They approved it just this last Friday. What happens after that is we send it to all municipalities and Indian tribes that would be in this area, and we give them 7 days to provide comment. Now, just to let you know, on Gila County and in the city of Globe, EWP, they didn't get any of the comments back in that 7-day period. So we're hoping that we get all clearances from the NRCS and the environmental next Monday. Seeing how it was approved the end of day Friday, they said we'll start the clock on this Monday. So once we get all that information, what we did next for Bloody Tanks, we had to come up with design plans to help the contractor figure out exactly what we wanted to do so we could get a cost estimate together. So you can see these plans are quite involved, and this is just for Bloody Tanks Wash, and to help them improve this area. So that's one item that the NRCS required. We also had to develop a cost estimate based on what we had in the design plans and submitted. Now, this is a little bit more updated than what was in the grant because we had design survey, so it's a little more accurate. We had to come up with special provisions, what helps the contractor during construction of the project, and we have to do this for each of the 4 sites. And then NRCS wants us to develop an operation and maintenance plan following their guidelines. So, for maintenance and the vegetation removal or whatever, what have you, for each of these areas. And then we come up with individual design report. And in Bloody Tanks, it was pretty simple because we're just really removing sediment. So we didn't have to share too many models, but we will have to have hydrologic and hydraulic models as part of the other 3 areas that will need to be reviewed and approved. So we have Bloody Tanks, the design report was approved, the plans were approved, just waiting for the environmental approval. Tiffany is ready to go out once they get approvals. They're ready to go out there next Tuesday and start constructing Bloody Tanks Wash, but what they need first is a notice to proceed from the town. Once they have that, doesn't necessarily have to be formal, but if they have some documentation that a notice to proceed is coming, then they can go ahead and start construction in Bloody Tanks. So now that we got Bloody Tanks done, we were thinking, all right, what should we do next? And we thought we could start with Adonis. And so we are putting together construction plans for Adonis. And another requirement that the NRCS requires is that we get right of entry on the parcels. It just says, it lets them know, hey, we're going to be designing improvements. Would you let us get on your property and do some grading? For Adonis Basin, this was originally designed 10 years ago or more, and when they designed that, here's the design plans from then. There was a recommended drainage easement that covered every area of grading and an area that would pond. So we didn't necessarily think we needed to get right of entry here. We thought we could go with the drainage easements. Unfortunately, this middle parcel never had the drainage easement recorded, and this is, I believe, David Berry's parcel. So we have to coordinate with him to see if he'll give us right of entry, and eventually we will need a drainage easement. But we don't think that's something that's going to be solved in a week. So I think what we'll do is concentrate on the Latham Basin, just so that when Tiffany's done with Bloody Tanks, they can go seamlessly into the next area. But once again, Alexis and I are trying to get right of entry for this parcel. Hopefully it's an easier process. If we don't hear anything back by this week, we're going to concentrate on Smelter Canyon. We do have right of entry permission in this area. I want to say on this original design, we were designing to get the grant approved, but we didn't talk to the landowners here we assumed that because the wash was here, that upstream of this embankment, there'd be no developments. But we met with the property owners that own this parcel here and this parcel here. They plan to develop this parcel, so we went out, we met with them. We talked about how we can improve their access roadway to their site. They did not want a large embankment downstream. They would approve something smaller. So we're looking at maybe doing a smaller embankment here and then doing a larger embankment on the BHP property, which would be beneficial to the town. We did submit our models in this area to the Corps, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They ran models based on the upstream fire and, all the debris and sediment that happens because of a fire. And they found that this was a very beneficial area, so we definitely want to get something designed and constructed with this grant. As you know, the grant was awarded to the town April 2nd, and it took a couple of weeks for the town to get into agreement with NRCS. I think that happened April 26th. So we have 220 days from that April 2nd date to get things designed, approved, and constructed. So we're moving along. It's Tuesday. We don't foresee getting any comments on the environmental side. All the other reports are approved. Tiffany's lining up manpower. So it's just really getting that notice to proceed on bloody tanks. And another thing I definitely want to stress is bloody tanks is the most crucial as it relates to the upcoming monsoon as far as safety, because there's only so many access points that, to get into the wash. We did get right of entry from this parcel over here, and we're going to do a ramp into the bloody tanks to clean up this upstream side, but the access on the downstream side is a little bit further away. And Tiffany definitely wants to get started on that date so they can complete this before the monsoon. This is the only one they're really worried about as far as safety and the upcoming monsoon. The other sites, because of the way we're going to construct them, isn't as much as a safety concern for the monsoon. So that is the update. We're working along with Tiffany and Alexis to get these things going. We're making great progress. Working with NRCS, they've been a real support in helping us get this going. And like the mayor had mentioned, this is our opportunity here, and NRCS has given the town over $6 million to build and construct these things and design them. And with, Alexis was a great help in getting this grant. I mean, that's a large amount of money that the government has given to build this, and we got to take advantage of it and get these things built. So with that, I can open it up to any questions. I got Charles on the line with me. He's the man that's putting all the design plans together, so I have a lot more knowledge on that if there's any questions on that.
Yeah, Pat, I thought we got an extension on that 220-day.
Right now, they won't say whether it's too early in the contract. Now, historically, they have given one extension of 75 days, but we can't necessarily bank on that yet. Our goal is to get as much done in that 220 days as we can, with the hopes that we do get an extension. I can't guarantee it, but all I will say is they typically do provide that.
Okay. When Tiffany starts working, is that going to be 7 days a week? I saw that someplace.
Charles, do you know? I thought it was. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what I heard was they were thinking about working Monday through Saturday. We can confirm that with Tiffany, but that's what I thought.
Mayor and council, it's 7 days a week between 12 to 14 hours. That's the agreement.
Say that again?
7 days a week, 12 to 14 hours.
It's been, and I'm sure Tiffany and Wilson have seen this. When you work 7 days a week, it takes about maybe a month at the most, and your workforce is slowing down. you're not gaining, you're losing after that. So I just want to throw that out there for you guys. Give them a break. And I know Tiffany, I think I know Tiffany's going to be working for Globe at the same time that they're not already. And does Tiffany have the kind of resources with equipment and men, operators and so forth, that you're going to need in both areas? I just don't want to see us fail because we came in second from Globe. I know Globe's already doing it. I think I know that.
Mayor and council, they're working on the county, city of Globe, and town of Miami. Their workforce they're expecting is 200 workers and 7 days a week. They have already progress on the hospital area. But yeah, the commitment is there and they present alternative for that.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, one of the reasons we decided to team with Tiffany is they did the same project in Flagstaff. They have multiple crews, so they do have the manpower. The crews that have been assigned to either county or Globe are not the ones that are dedicated to Miami. He's got separate crews ready to go. They initially thought that they could start tomorrow, so they already were getting crews to come down, and they had a delay based on the environmental. Nothing we could do about that, and we had to address the NRCS comments. But the good thing about the environmental is that's for all the 4 sites. So once we get that approval, we're good to go on the design for those, and then it's just our design report, design plans, specifications, and costs.
That's good. You guys gotta have a scheduling department, so you know what the schedules are gonna be to start and finish each of these areas.
Sorry, what was that?
Schedulers in your company that schedule the time, the time it's gonna take to expend so many man hours to get the work done? You guys don't work with schedules?
Mayor, are you talking about for the contractor for Tiffany?
Yes.
For construction?
Yes.
Yeah. So what we have in the specifications is they have up to 90 days to get leady tanks completed. They think they can do that before that. Also in our specifications, we specify that the town has to approve them to work weekends. So Alexis will be working with them on that. But yeah, I mean, they can provide schedules. They're not here today to represent themselves, but we can get a schedule.
I think we all like to see it, just so we know what's going on. What about the creek? We're gonna go all the way down with Tiffany, cleaning the creek, or is that something a little different?
Can you say that again,
About
sir?
the creek going down through Miami?
Oh, leady tanks wash?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're starting like 600 feet upstream of the U.S. Bridge, and then we're gonna stop about 400 feet downstream of Miami Avenue.
Yeah, so that would be the whole stretch.
The whole stretch through the town of Miami.
And how are they gonna do all that with the piping and stuff and the electrical that's in the creek?
Yeah, so we're, part of the design process was to go out there and Tiffany actually potholed to find a lot of the utilities, so we're gonna work around separation on the utilities. I mean, really, if it goes up to me, we pull out more material than what we have to do. Only because we have those utilities, it's wet with utilities in the channel. So we're cutting up to 2 feet in some areas, but most of the cut would be like 1 to 2 feet of removing sediment. Now you're talking probably almost, I think it's 0.86 miles of, sediment that we're gonna be removing.
You guys got any questions?
Yeah. With the ending of the monsoon season, September 30th, how are we gonna look? Are we gonna do these in priority with bloody tanks wash top priority, and then what?
Then it's a matter of where we have rights of entry. If we can get the right of entry for Latham, we'll jump on that next. We were working on Adonis, but we don't see getting that right of entry, within the next few weeks. So we don't want to work on design plans that Tiffany can't go out and construct. So I think we're either gonna pivot to Latham or pivot to Smelter so that it's seamless for Tiffany to go on to the next site once they're done with Bloody Tanks. But I'll say it again, those other sites, they're not as worried about the monsoon, they'll work through the monsoon, so that's good. So as long as we can get them Bloody Tanks by next Tuesday, I think we'll be making great progress on the overall 4 sites.
We're already officially in monsoon season.
Anybody else?
That's
Go ahead.
a good question. They're monitoring that. I think they said end of June, but it's a moving target. Alexis, I don't know if you.
Usually they call it the 20th or 21st, roughly.
It's not officially.
Patrick, I still not receiving that confirmation, but like you say, the target date to start is Tuesday, and then from that, going for the 7 days, 12 to 14 hours.
Councilman Medina here. Is there any chance you can show us that frame of Smelter Canyon again, the project?
Yeah, let me share. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. I see you.
Can you see?
Looking for that dam project.
Yes. It's right here. This is our original intent.
Okay, hold it right there.
Yes.
I'm trying to focus in on the road above. If you can zoom out a little bit.
About this road here?
No, it's above on the hill. Zoom out. You're almost there. Okay, you see that snake, that road that snakes around above?
Yes.
No, not that one, but anyway, way up above, there's a road there of concern to me, because that would be an escape route, in the future if needed. I'll be talking about that later in the meetings here, but it's on the agenda. But is there any chance you could get, have Alexis, get a, copy of that so we can have kind of a rough map of what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And we can even put on, we have our contours from when we did the study. These are 5-foot contours, and we have 1-foot contours that we can provide. And we have, as you can see, we have all the parcels. So, yeah, whatever you guys want, just let us know, and I'll make that a PDF for you.
Okay, thank you. I just saw a flash right now. Alexis, I believe, is working on a map.
Councilman Medina, we received the new drawings for that area. But at the same time, where it is, Mr. Patrick is pointed right now, the road got washed out. It's about probably 8 to 10 feet down.
Right here, yeah, this is washed out.
It washed out.
Yeah, that's not the road I'm talking about.
He's talking about way up top.
Way up on top. I don't think you could even see it. You just see part of it. Okay,
Yeah,
and that's the road I'm
we're-
thinking about. It's called the Becky Camp to Cherry Flats Road. And it tops off at Cherry Flats. And anyway, that was just a kind of a favor, so I could use that as a reference when I'm
Yeah.
doing the report.
No problem.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Okay, thanks, Pat, appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, council.
All right, moving on. Item 9B, information, discussion, and possible action, consideration and possible approval of Lavina Public Affairs letter of agreement for lobbying and government-related services. Alexa.
Ryan?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, members of the town council, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So very quickly, I have had the pleasure of speaking with and meeting with a number of you, but just a little background for those of you who I have not yet talked to or met with. My name is Ryan Dimena with Dimena Public Affairs. Dimena Public Affairs is a lobbying and government relations consulting firm located in the Phoenix area, just a block or two away from the state capitol. If I had an arm, I could probably throw a football at the Capitol from my office. Dimena Public Affairs is a family firm. My partner is my brother Joseph Dimena, and we work with our father Kevin Dimena. Kevin's first legislative session was 1979, so for better or for worse, we have effectively been raised in this process. My brother was a former House staffer. I am a former Senate staffer, as is my father. Everybody who works for the team at Dimena Public Affairs is former legislative staff. Between everybody in my office, there are probably just over 90 years of combined legislative experience. And we have had, as I mentioned, conversations with many of you, particularly Mr. Rivera, about working with the town of Miami to help secure the state funding necessary to draw down the federal match for the NRCS grant that's been discussed so far this meeting. So with that, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, that's a brief introduction. I'm happy to talk a little bit about where we are in this legislative session or answer any questions that you all may have.
Where are you in the legislative session?
Mr. Mayor, I would say that we are certainly nearing the end of the legislative session. The budget is typically the last thing that gets addressed. And the legislative majority, meaning the Republicans who control the House and the Senate, they advanced a budget proposal in early May. That proposal had not been negotiated with Governor Hobbs. When it reached her desk, she vetoed it, and lawmakers took an extended adjournment to negotiate the budget and hopefully advance a proposal for fiscal year 27 that the governor would sign. Much of that work occurred over the extended adjournment. Lawmakers returned on June 1st, and it's our understanding that a budget deal has been reached, and we should be seeing the budget advance shortly.
Sounds good. You guys do any work with the federal government?
Mr. Mayor, somewhat. A great deal of our federal, our congressional delegation are former state lawmakers. And so we do have existing relationships with a number of them. Our focus is the Arizona State Legislature, but that's not to say that we don't have the ability to work with our federal delegation as well.
Thank you. You guys got any questions?
Councilman Medina here. A lot of good information you're giving us. Is there any chance you can provide a newsletter of what's going on and things that you feel that we should be aware of, focus on, or whatever? Kind of educate us as we go along.
Absolutely, Councilmember Medina. I think it's worth noting that I have talked with Mr. Rivera, folks like Councilmember Stewart, off and on about working with the town of Miami. Obviously, this is a critically important, time-sensitive issue that we're trying to address. Moving forward, I'd be really open and welcome the opportunity to continue our work together. Having said all that, one of the services that we provide clients is we do provide exactly what you mentioned, sort of a weekly newsletter, talks about some of the happenings down at the state capitol, as well as legislation of interest. We typically provide on a weekly basis a bill tracking list, bills and legislation that would, impact cities and towns that you all might like to give a once over.
Because I get the idea from the league's little reports that they give on the legislatures, their progress and all that. So something similar to that would be nice.
Yes, sir.
From you guys.
Like I say, there's no shortage of things to write about. So.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Any questions, guys? Okay, well, thank you.
Absolutely, Mr. Mayor. And Mr. Mayor and council members, if you don't mind, I'd like to stay on for item 9C. I just think it'd be important to hear about the possible intergovernmental agreement with Globe and Gila.
9C, you said?
Yes, sir. If it's not appropriate, I'm happy to hop off as well.
No, go ahead. You're welcome to listen. Right, Al? Tim?
Thank you, sir.
Mayor?
Yeah.
Right here. If I may, I'd like to make a motion.
Go ahead.
Okay, move to approve the Amina Public Affairs Letter of Agreement for Lobbying and Government Relations Services.
I'd like to second that.
Okay, Councilman Medina, motion to approve. Councilman Stewart, seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We're going on to 9C. Information, discussion, and possible action, consideration and possible approval of intergovernmental agreement, IGA, between Gila County, the City of Globe, the Town of Miami, to collaborate in the development of a long-term regional flood mitigation plan for Globe Miami region, and I love it. I love it. Let's do it. Go ahead, Alexis.
Mayor and council, in front of you, you have the IGA, as you mentioned. But it's going to be extending the mitigation actions on the region. This idea, this IGA came out from Freeport, McMoran. They're going to be contracting Lucinda Andriani. She's the flood control mitigation administrator at Coconino County. She is the artist behind the $90+ million of funding for the Coconino County after the 2022 pipeline fire. A little bit of history in the pipeline fire, they got between 10 to 20 flood incidents. Houses, roads, the damages was very high. And after that, Ms. Andrani pursued multiple grants in different arenas, state, federal, and other jurisdiction, and with the support of the City of Globe County, Freeport, and the Town of Miami. This is the opportunity for us to continue moving forward for the safety of our region.
I saw some numbers in there, about $100 million that the government came up with.
That's correct. It was close to $100 million, and it was from different agencies. And we have some important elected officials from the City of Globe and Gila County that they can support this action that we're doing today.
You guys have any questions?
I'm good.
Al, any comments?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Yeah, I'm here to support, in support of this IGA that was brought forward. It goes to our council tomorrow night. for discussion. I know it's in draft form. We'll see a final form once the county and Miami and all our attorneys look at them and get all the wording right. But we do support it. We saw what the flooding occurred 8 months ago in the devastation. We hope we never see it again. It's time now that we come together and produce a regional plan for our entire community. And that is important because that we collaborate together, we partnership, work together, that brings more opportunity for funding to our community. And Freeport has offered this resource where, you know what happened in Coconino County with flight staff and everything, and the amount of money. So we're not only dealing with flooding, we're dealing with a burn scar on top of the mountains too. We all deal with that. We deal with it for years. So we need to come up with funding. They got over 100, I think it was $120 million in federal funding for the burn scars and trying to slow the waters that came down the mountain there. So this is a vital part of our future. We need to come together as a region. We all know individually what each project is costing us, the NRCS projects. You know, if you guys were, I don't know, 6 million, we're at 24 million, the county, I can't remember what they're at. We don't have that type of money all the time. It's a very complex project and approvals to get through the process. So I think we work together as a region to try and bring funding back to our community to take care of future flooding and the mountain also.
I agree. I'm looking forward to this. There was a comment in here I thought I'd read to all of you. It's on page 4, item 4. This agreement is setting forth a commitment of cooperation, collaboration, participation for the three parties in completing, securing approval of long-term regional flood mitigation. I love that. That's exactly what we do.
Thank you.
How you doing? Bill, you gonna say anything?
Sure. Yeah, thank you very much for having this meeting, Mayor and Council, and Alexis, because, you know, at the meeting, it's like, I could support it all I wanted to, but until I got the Board of Supervisors approval, it couldn't go anywhere. And the city votes tomorrow, I've already brought it to a work session in front of the Board of Supervisors. And they all nodded their heads, so now we're ready to go into an agreement. And so I'm glad to see you doing this tonight. As a deal team, together everybody achieves more is true. And the fact when we put in for grant money, if we're at a hole and Freeport is backing us, those people have a lot of clout, not only in the state but in the nation. And so when we can partner together to work for a better future, I can't think of anything better for our region and community. So thank you very much for putting this before the full support. And so we have the full support of the Miami Town Council, Globe Town Council, and the Board of Supervisors. So I think it's a great partnership as we work forward to better our area. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. I'm hoping it grows beyond flood mitigation. We just keep doing it. Why stop there? Anybody else? Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to absolutely and enthusiastically approve item 9C as written.
Second. Mayor, if I could we have that motion to just be with potential minor amendments by the town attorney once we get the final version?
I'll defer to the town attorney for the correct verbiage of my motion.
Revised verbiage. With the revised verbiage.
Revised verbiage.
You second it? All right. Councilman Stewart tried to motion it, and our lawyer updated him. And Councilman Medina seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. I love it. All right. Last item on the agenda? No. Item 9D, Information, discussion, and possible consideration, and possible approval of I love these. We'll see you guys later. Okay, 9D, Gila County Public Safety Memorial Association is putting on, consideration of putting on an Old Town Fair chili cook-off Friday, July the 3rd, 2026, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. and requested road closures.
Mayor, Council, Jess Bryant, I am currently the president of the Gila County Public Safety Memorial Association. As part of the annual Copper Valley Independence Day celebration, this year we hope to bring back the Old Town Fair, which will be on Friday. So, as in Saturday will be Independence Day this year, July 4th. And so Friday will be a legal holiday for those who are lucky. And so that evening, we hope to conduct the Old Town Fair between those evening hours. And so it'll be food vendors, family entertainment, and hopefully there we'll also be able to pull together this competition of chili. So anybody who wants to submit theirs for the contest.
We have forms there. We do have the forms there if you guys.
Oh yeah, we have forms for anybody interested in getting involved in the competition. And so, yeah, we hope to make this Independence Day weekend memorable here in the Gold Mountain community. It is the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And although Constitution Day is on September 17th, we continue to be the longest constitutional republic in the world that has not had an interruption and change of form of government. So kudos to us for that. And yeah, hopefully this will be something for our children to remember. So tonight we are asking for the street closure to have the vendors and everybody parked out there, and for people to be out in the streets. So are there any questions from council?
No, I don't. I think it's pretty clear. You guys got any questions? No?
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
Like the motion, the approval of the Old Town Fair and Chili Cook-Off Friday, July the 3rd, 2026, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. and requested road closures. And seconded by.
Okay, Councilman Medina made a motion to approve. Councilman Stewart seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 9E. Information, discussion, and possible action. And this is for July the 4th. Go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah, Mayor, as we have done in previous years, we hope to use Sullivan Street as the parade route. And the area, I call it concourse there, the round concrete street there in front of the Boyden Plaza School. We hope to use that as the staging area for the entries. And then we will bring them up the street when it's time to line up, kind of in front of the Catholic Church there, and about the police department area, right in there, and have them lined up there to kick off the parade. And just as we have done in years past, there'll be the opening ceremonies, and hopefully Mary will come and give a brief speech, and just to open things up for the holiday. And then yeah, we will have our Independence Day parade that day.
Jesse, what time did you say the parade started?
Yes, so we will, is concerning the road closure. We will start setting up at 6 a.m. We would like to have some public works people out there to set up the barriers. Tragically, we do not have the manpower to do that. Alexis and I tried to do it last year, and the parade was already starting before we finished. It was an absolute complete disaster. So just not able to do it with own private public volunteers. So we start setting up at 6. The Centennial Band will start performing at 7:30 off the side of the street there, out of the street. And then opening ceremonies will begin at 8. So probably by 7, we need to have traffic restricted through there. A few years in the past, we had people pull in there and refuse to leave. And then usually opening ceremonies is done by 8:30, 9 o'clock. And the parade will start as soon as the program is done there in the park, the parade will begin.
The parade will be done by 10.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You got anything going on around noonish?
Yes, as a matter of fact, as the parade comes to completion, your own town manager will be out there frying hot dogs and hamburgers. I believe free to the public. Is that correct, Alexis? Yep, free to the public, hot dogs and hamburgers. There will also be a salsa contest, as we did last year. And I know Mrs. Madrid submitted a salsa entry to that. I think she won one of the categories. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. So hopefully folks will get involved in that again. And the pool.
Diving for coins. That's why I asked. We're gonna do the diving for coins at noon.
Yeah. Yeah, so we will continue to have a festival in the park there after the parade ends. There'll be goings on for the youth at the pool. So hopefully we can make a day of it, and hopefully the community will still be able to enjoy fireworks that evening off the tailings. I just want to put a quick plug in as well to Thursday evening, the 2nd. We're having our 3rd annual Liberty Dinner. $50 tickets will be honoring our very own Globe Miami Major Travis Kirkland, graduate of the United States Air Force Academy, A-10 pilot, currently stationed at Luke Air Force Base, training to fly the elite F-35 fighter pilot. So come help us honor him. We have tickets available to that program. We plan on holding it there at Boyd Plaza as well.
That was good. Any questions?
Anybody want to donate to the diving for coins? I kind of threw my whole bucket in the pool last year.
Here, if I may, I'd like to make a motion. Move for the Provo Valley Independence Day Parade, including staging area and celebration at the park on Saturday, July 4th, 2026. Staging begins at 6 a.m., parade beginning at 10 a.m.
No.
I'm sorry, a.m., 6 a.m., parade beginning at 10 a.m. with celebration.
Parade begins at 8. It's over at 10.
Yeah, we'll have the barriers down by 10.
Okay, so we're going to be adding that to this.
Yeah, it says it somewhere on.
I saw on the other page. I know what you're talking about.
It's 8 o'clock.
Okay, well, let me rephrase that. I make a motion to approve the agenda item 9E as provided on documentation, which is extensive. So that's my motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, Councilman Medina, motion to approve. Councilman Stewart, seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, item 9F. Information, discussion, and possible action regarding investigating possible emergency escape routes from Mackey's Camp through Cherry Flats Road. Councilman Medina.
Yes, thank you. Little bit of history. Back in the day, when we were all kids, our parents used to take us on pickup truck rides in the back of the pickup, the bed. And it was pretty frequent. You could just drive on up the old Cherry Flats escape route. We just called it Cherry Flats Mackey's Camp and Cherry Flats Road. Very extensively used, people were coming and going constantly. It was a shortcut, we used to have a real nice picnic area at the foothills of the canals of Cherry Flats. A lot of people would go up there, rather than make the long trip around from the library on, you just went through Mackey's Camp and boom, you're there. But anyway, they hadn't thought about that for the longest time. The last time I was on that road, it was one winter day, I took some Boy Scouts on our Bronco, and four-wheel drive Bronco, and it was a challenge because of the snow and all that. And still made it, no problem. Since then, didn't come to mind until all this going on with the flooding. So anyway, I brought it up. I went looking for the entrance. After finding the exit one day, I wanted to make sure that I can get down and back up. And I remember there used to be a gate there, and for a short while it was locked. I don't know who locked it. But anyway, I found the exit. Luisa and I were coming back from the Valley medical appointment. We found a little bit of time coming back, so we swung over looking for that entrance from this side, from the creek side. And then it all hit me. It's kind of situated between the, I think it would be the Smelter Canyon Wash and another, the Mackey Camp road that continues. So if you get on the Mackey's Camp Road, which would be a left-hand turn when you cross the creek, then you come to the wash, which you cannot miss, because you won't believe the boulders and the amount of damage that was brought down from up above. I've never seen it that bad in that area. And while I was up there, I would encourage people to go take a look from Cherry Flats, go look at the Smelter Canyon. It's like a big funnel, you can see it, and there's a humongous, like a waterfall possible, and then you can see a real wide river possibility coming down. So it finally hit me. I was wondering why we're going with Smelter Canyon as a priority, and now I can see it. But anyway, in that general area, you can see all this. Anyway, coming back, Luis and I found the entrance from the creek side. Went up that road, and I was just going to creep so far, maybe as far as the gate. The road was rough. There's 3 real rough spots. Kept creeping, and you guys know our vehicle, Jeep Grand Cherokee. That little sucker made it all the way to the top. So that road is accessible right now. If you have a tough four-wheel drive vehicle, and especially those big four-wheel drive trucks, as a plan, I would suggest maybe any emergency services that are around the area, look at it and see what they think. In case there's ever an emergency and they can't get across the creek, but they need to get an ambulance or whatever down to the people, that would be a route with the proper machinery. I was going to recommend to those people that have 4 side-by-sides to start taking a trip up that way. And again, through experience, I've noticed that once a road is traveled enough, sometimes it seems like magic, it starts fixing itself. And then all you have to do is concentrate on the real rough places, which are 3 of them. Okay, so I contacted the county, and they believe that that property is Forest Service land. So I'm hoping that somebody connected with Forest Service is listening and can help us and help us reestablish that road. The other thing I was going to add is it'd be nice if we agree to use that road to put some signage, and along with that signage, maybe a rough, like the Forest Service does, they put a little like a map sign, and more importantly, give that road a name, like a route number, Forest Road, such and such. So anyway, those are things that need to be worked on, and I'll be doing whatever I can.
Be a good idea, especially for emergency issues. Also, I was looking up at the top, looking at the maps early in my mayor career. I got some from coroner's office over the road. And I saw an area up there in that same vicinity, 18 acres of land that my aunt, the town of Miami owns. And I showed him to Alexis, because he had a big map in his office. And he said that not only is that our land, we have neighbors, VHP on one side and Freeport on another. And they've offered to let us use their acreage for housing. So when you add it all together, it was something like 70 or 80 acres of land that we need to look at, and we'll use our committee to take a good look at it and give us some ideas on what we can do.
That's where I made my mistake the first time I went looking for it. I remembered about that property you're talking about. Back in my mind, I was thinking that's the route up to Cherry Flats. And I come to some dead ends. And then I came to the old dump road. And that property there, we've kicked that around many times through different councils, that is there's some acreage up there that can be used as an RV park. That's the old dump, but there's a liner there. As long as we don't disturb that liner, we could do just about anything up there that we plan on doing.
Anybody else, any comments?
Yeah, I got a question for Mr. Humphrey. Is the Tonto Basin fire headed to Globe?
No, it was distinguished early.
Okay,
Yeah, and only one dwelling was lost, and it caught another one, but they got that out real fast, so only one building was done. And that's just a reminder, it's called a fuel ladder. It goes from grass and then burns up from there. And so I talked to the fire people that fought that fire, and if people would have taken the bottom steps off of that fire ladder, that wouldn't have been near as severe as it was. A guy was welding, of course everybody knows that we're not supposed to be doing any of that enclosed. But around your house, if you have brush, if you have 2x4s stacked up next to a shed, then the grass starts, then the 2x4s, then your shed's gone. So that's what they mean about the fire ladder. So when you're firewizing your property, that means cutting the grass and get everything that will burn away from your structures, because that's what, it burned a couple well houses as well, because the brush was right up to the well houses. So, you know, that was just lesson learned when you're firewizing your property. Get stuff away from your structures. Don't stack your firewood next to a structure. Don't stack anything that'll burn around your structures and cut your grass low.
no injuries or livestock?
No, not that I'm aware
Okay.
of. Thank you.
Thank you.
But up in Greer, we have a fire station that'll come and control burn your yard and get all that
That'd be neat.
cleaned up. Yeah. Comes in pretty handy. All right, anything else? Right. Okay. Call to the council of future agenda items. Same things you've been putting on there for me.
And the facade program too? HVAC and stuff?
Anybody else want to put something on there for Karen?
I have something. There's this one individual becoming a good friend of mine now. I believe his name is Joseph Castañeda, no relation to anybody here in this town. He said he's already kind of given the town a heads up, and I would like to get him on the agenda for next time. He has a pretty good presentation. The presentation being that he has a company, basically his company is a pressure washing company, but he also does yard cleanup, and he'll move trash, and he lives in Miami, wants to help Miami we have the same vision, we all have. And he wants to help. So he said that he'll work with people that can't really afford it. He'll work out something with them. Yeah, apparently he has a pretty good crew. I meant to bring his business card, but I did make a copy of the business card. I'll send it to Karen and Alexis and see if we can get that on the agenda next
That's a
time.
good idea.
Yeah, and he'll make a presentation. Mhm.
Okay, item 11, we're at the adjourn.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
Councilman Medina, motion to adjourn. Councilman Moat, seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I didn't want to leave it.
Aye, it is.